iCharger S6 1100 watt 40 amp charge rate will discharge up to 40 watts, does a 2 amp balancing current. There's a lot of details. If you want a quick version of the review, it's awesome. If you want the long version, well, let's take a quick look at it and then we'll talk about it. All right, so first off, man, iCharger is quality. I mean, it really is. So when you talk about iCharger, the first thing, if you've been in the hobby any amount of time, quality, top of the line. It does. There's a lot of bells and whistles, and something this small, you wouldn't know that there's some bells in here. But seriously, it does so much stuff that, well, this is the manual. So this is the manual for this charger. I think it's like, I don't know, 30 some, 40 some pages long. There's stuff in here that I don't understand. Like I honestly tried to go through that manual and learn as much as I could about this charger to be able to, let's do a full in-depth review where we go over every single detail about this and talk about it. And then I look smart and you're like, oh wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. We're going to subscribe, which if you're not subscribed, do that. Click that button down there. Subscribe to the channel so you can see when I come here and try to make myself look smart. And if I don't, at least if I help you make a decision, that's even better. So the charger itself, this one actually is supposed to release sometime in the next month or so. They sent this one to me about a month ago. They actually sent this along with another charger that we'll probably talk about next week. But this one here, they sent to me. I do a lot of 6S batteries, 4S batteries, parallel charging. So 1100 watt 40 amp is honestly way more than I use. I don't get anywhere close. I do like 4 or 5 6S batteries running maybe up to 8 amps. Nothing too crazy. I've got a little 12 volt power supply. Works this great. If you wanted to go kind of as much as this can do, 24 volt power supply, buddyrc.com. We have one, with our pretty picture on the side of it. It'll do everything this charger can do and then some. If you buy an iCharger from buddyrc, something that I have seen, complaints on was, customer service, getting warranty stuff. If you had an issue, actually getting help. What I can say is if you got it from buddyrc, it makes it easy because we do all of the warranty stuff, in-house right here at Columbus, Ohio. So if you buy an iCharger, it's under warranty. You send an email, you call, you're like, hey, my charger's not working, I need help. We don't just send you off to another company. We have you send it here, or we do whatever we have to fix it. So, before we even get into talking about this charger and a review, I really want to say that because to me, that's a big deal. When I buy something, if I have that security to know, hey, look, there's a company that's going to stand by this product, I want to get that product. So the idea for this video is I kind of just want to do an overview / review of this charger. If you really want to know all of the details, when I say details, I mean the nitty gritty stuff that you may need a degree to understand some of it, I'll have a link in the description for the actual manual for this. Otherwise, stick with me. We'll get through it. We'll talk about it for a minute and then we'll dive right into the menu system. So right off the bat, when we got this, so this here is the X6. This charger, it's been out for a little while. It was like 800 watt. Did really well for what it is. Has some XT60 connectors on it. You can see they're really, can you see? So they're really similar in size. I mean I thought they were the same size until I put them side by side. And you can tell the S6 is a little bit bigger. Some of the key changes of it is the wheel on the side. So the one that, your menu, your scroll wheel, whatever you want to call it, they did change it, which is good. The one on the X6 was really thin and terrible. This one is thicker and not as terrible. I don't want to sugarcoat it. The scroll wheel needs work. It's not a deal breaker. The amount of features and functions that come in an iCharger far exceed this little scroll wheel. So don't let that be a deal breaker. It's not for me. It's just there's other input. There's other input options that are better. So they did upgrade it. It is better. Still a little ways to go, man. You know, they can do something else. On the sides of the charger, you have the USB port on the side. You have XT90 input, XT90 output. You have a multifunction port. Multifunction port does, well, multiple things. Funny, huh? You can put a temperature probe that actually comes in the box. Put it on the battery. It will measure the battery's temperature. Servo testing. Again, there's a lot of stuff it will do. Then obviously your balance port up to 6S SD card slot. iCharger does a lot of really cool stuff. So you can, well, not only, you know what, instead of talking about it while I hold it, let's just dive right into the menu system and let you, well, kind of see some of the stuff it can do. All right, so we're going to go through the iCharger S6. Hey, look, you can kind of see a reflection there of the camera. So the gist is, you know, I know you saw it all fancy in the video. So we got the XT90 output with the multifunction port here, SD card slot, and our, well, you know, balance port on this side. Bunch of nice vents on the side. This is one thing I kind of like. Got a little stand on the bottom. I mean, it's a stand. It makes it, you know, stand. On this side here, this is the scroll wheel. The dreaded little scroll wheel that we were talking about. Again, it's not terrible. So here, this is what it used to be. I mean, it's that little tiny, that was awful. This is less awful. I mean, it's still not, I mean, it's still a scroll wheel. It's not a deal breaker, like I said, but it's just one of those things where it's like, this is the only thing keeping this charger, in my opinion, from being like, oh wow, what did they do? But the features, again, are more than making up for it. So in the box itself, you get the temperature, well, whatever, the little thermal probe thing that plugs in your multi-port, and you put it on your charger to see your battery temp. It also came with, so again, it has XT90s on it. So it comes with these two XT90 connectors. So just the connectors, nothing else. I made these just because I use XT60 on, well, literally everything. So that makes it a lot easier for me to use, you know, like so I'm using these right now for a long range 7-inch quad. I use these on pretty much everything else just because I don't need very expensive, crazy batteries. These are very affordable, and they're doing fine. I mean, I used them to film on a commercial the other day, and they're doing great. So that's what we're using. We're gonna use our adapters and plug in a battery into the input back here. We're gonna use that to go through our menu system. So we got our input source. Now, let's go back. Come on now, go back home. So this is your home screen. It says no battery connected because there is no battery connected. Down here at the bottom you have, this is your input voltage. So this battery that's input, 22.85 volts. Input amperage is 0 because we're not doing anything. So, you know, 21.2 Celsius. In the manual, it goes through and tells you what every single one of these little input things are. Let's plug a battery into the other side so we can kind of go through everything. So we plug the battery in. It tells us what the voltage is for the battery. Plug our balance port in, and we get cell voltage. You can see it's all really close. I use this charger to balance these batteries. iCharger is known for a few things, and accuracy is definitely one of those things. So voltage accuracy, right out of the factory, these things are, well, pretty much dead solid on accuracy for the voltage. Your balance charge, you can actually set this up. So let's go in here and look. So the way the menu system works, you click in and you select a memory selection for your batteries. So you can see here LiPo 4S 1550. I've already made one for that. LiPo. If you hold down on it, you can come in here and edit, move. You can add a new one. So let's do that. We're going to add a new one. We're going to call it whatever it is. So LiPo 2 amp. I'm not going to change anything, but you can if you wanted to come through here and, I mean, it's a menu system. So click that. Good enough. Hold down to backspace. Click down again to take you out of that, and then you can go through. So we are going to do LiPo battery cell count. It's auto, so auto sounds just like it says. If it's a 2S battery, it's going to detect it. If it's 4S, it's going to detect it. Capacity, really don't care. We're going to make this for charging. So this battery is on storage charge, so we're going to charge it. Now charge current. This is a 1300 6S. So 2C of 1300, 1.3 times 2 would be 2.6 amps. So click it. When I say click, I just mean tap it one time inside. Scroll up to 2.6, click it again. Charge mode. So here's where it gets different. So you notice you have normal balance, you have set in charge current 10%, set charge cell voltage. You can really get this down and dirty to where, well, I'll show you. So normal balance, you push that and you come in here, slow balance, normal balance, fast balance, user balance, not balance. So normal balance, what it is if it's normal balance, it's going to do, well, exactly what it says. It's going to balance your batteries normally. If you pick fast balance, it's going to get them fairly close. I mean, it's going to be accurate enough to use your battery, but it's going to be a lot faster at charging. If you do slow balance, it's going to be very extremely accurate on getting those cells balanced between each other. However, it's going to, well, increase the amount of time it takes to charge the batteries. Even on normal balance, myself, if I'm trying to go out and fly, I find I get frustrated. So I do fast balance a lot. It's really personal preference. So you come over here to set balance start. So that is when your battery gets within 0.2 volts of being, quote, charged, it will start balancing the cells. And then right here for the normal one, you can see it's a 5 millivolt difference between all of the cells in the battery. Let's see if it will actually tell us. So let's go in here to slow balance and come to set. So slow balance, you can see it's 3 millivolt. So 3 millivolt difference between the cells. So obviously it takes longer. And then let's see what fast balance. Fast balance is 8 millivolt. So obviously it just gives you more of a range between the cells. So as long as those cells are within 8 millivolts of each other, if you're on fast balance, it's going to say it's good enough. If you're on slow balance, it's going to have to be within 3 millivolt. And then if we go to user, I think if we go to user, we can actually tell it. Yeah, so user balance, you can come in here and take it all the way down to 1 millivolt. I mean, I kind of want to do that just to see how long it would take, but yeah, no thanks. Or you can take it all the way up to 10 millivolt, and then that's going to give you a lot faster charge rate, but at the cost of accuracy on your balance. So I'm just going to keep this at normal balance. In current, not messing with. Cell voltage, you can come in here and you can change that as well. So if you had, you know, it's warning me that we're going to overcharge the battery if we go any higher. You can tell it, instead of just LiPo, you can say I have a lithium polymer high voltage, and it won't do the alarm thing. Safety, cut temperature. So we can tell it that we want to change the temperature that it cuts off at. Max capacity of the battery. We're not really doing anything with the capacity. No timers. Go back and back. So we are on charge, LiPo, and then we can come over here and save. So now you see we have a memory saved for this specific battery using only one, and you can come through here and set it up. So if you know that, you know, every Friday I'll go fly and I charge 6S batteries every single time I charge, you can set that up. You can set up memories for literally anything. So what I do a lot of the times is I come in here and just kind of change one. So, you know, if it's set on LiPo, I'll just click it. If I'm wanting a storage charge, yeah, I can click storage charge. Or if we want to charge, we can hold down on charge. and then come over here and change our current. Cells are already on auto charge mode. We can change it as we want. So we're going to say with this one, let's just go ahead and drop it down to like 1 amp, because just to show you. So 1 amp, we'll say fast balance, and then start. So this way it does the charging on the battery or storage charge or discharge or whatever I want to do without me needing to actually set up a memory for that, because honestly I don't really ever worry about it. I just kind of change it every time I come in here to do something. So on this screen you can see the cells. We got cell voltage here, the difference between, the delta V between all of the different. So right now from the lowest cell to the highest cell is a difference of 2 millivolts. You got 22.7 volts on the battery, charging at 1 amp. Down here it shows it's pulling 1 amp out of our supply. Supply is still at 22.7 volts. You can use your scroll wheel to come over to internal resistance. So internal resistance for the whole battery or individual cells. Info, so the power limit on our charger is 1100 watt, 4.2 volts per cell. Input low voltage, so it's right now set up for low voltage of 11.1 and overcurrent of 45 amp. Safety time, temp cutoff, and capacity, we don't really have that set up. And this tells you how much has went into each cell. So far 35 amp hour, or well, 0.036 amp hour on each cell. So that's pretty much how you charge the battery. You hold down on the button to stop the charge rate, come back in here, and let's see what else we have. So hold down, we'll go to edit. Actually, let's not go to edit. Let's just do it as if we were just changing anything. So click one time on it. You can see charge, storage, discharge, cycle. So cycle is something that a lot of people ask for on a charger that a lot of the lower price chargers really don't have. So click on cycle. We don't want to run it, no. Long click on cycle. Capacity, auto, count. So cell, if we want to do count, you can actually tell it how many times you want it to, well, cycle. So you can run it 1, 2, all the way up to 99. The delay is how long between the cycles it waits. And then the mode, you can change the mode to, you want to discharge the battery first and then take it to storage charge. You want to charge the battery and then discharge it down to storage charge. You want to discharge it and then charge it and discharge it. Again, there's a lot of different stuff that the manual is going to explain better than I can, or you can come down here, balance only, and just tell it you want to balance the cells, and you can see it thinking about it, but this battery is already within 2 millivolts of each other, so it's not anything for it to do. So it's going to say done. And again, these batteries have been charged and discharged and storage charged with this charger, and it really is a testament to the quality of this charger to be able to really nail the balancing. All right, so again, if you're in the market for a high quality, reasonably priced charger that is extremely accurate, and it's reliable, it's fully backed by a warranty, you can get taken care of right here in Columbus. There's so many good things I can talk about this, and the only downside is that little scroll wheel. If you can overlook that, man, the S6 is an amazing charger, especially if you're like me and I'm running 6S batteries, 4S batteries. I can't use this charger to, well, even a fraction of its capabilities, but I've really been loving it. And even though, yes, it was sent to us and I didn't pay out of pocket for this, this honestly would be the one that I would buy, because it does everything I need it to do. It's compact, I can throw it in my bag, and man, it's an awesome little thing. So otherwise, if you are not subscribed, think about subscribing. Click the button. It helps us out a lot. If you're interested in the S6, it will be out in the next month or so. Keep an eye out on buddyrc.com. It will show up there. I'll have links whenever it actually does. We'll post about it. We'll tell you that it's here so you can come and jump on it. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff that YouTubers say to do. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.